And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals remain the same. We're going to educate, we're going to entertain, we're going to enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
We'd like for you to save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. And we want you to bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A lot of information available for you at consumerqb.com. You'll see links to all of our expert contributors, 80-plus show partners that we've assembled, we've vetted, we bring on the air to help you win. You'll see testimonials there, show contributors tab, contact form that you can fill out, and that'll send an email directly through to myself and our team. And we want to make sure we engage you and help you live a better life and avoid a lot of commission-based advice that's so prevalent in our community out there. And now it's Intelligent Talk Radio. We've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Mario Larrea back in studio. MI Mutual Mortgage, welcome in, sir.
Hey, Brandon, great to be here. I'm going to be talking a little bit about just kind of the environment right now that we're in with the rates going up, kind of still in, low inventory, just kind of what's going on out there in the real estate market.
Still fighting that low inventory here in Tampa Bay. We're looking for sellers out there, people that want to, find out what their value is of their home. We'll offer that value check for them. Maybe we'll offer a rent versus own analysis as well for those renters out there throwing money away for rent and get them into a home ownership situation. All right, Milena Mateev in the house as well. Tampa Bay Chapter President for the Real Estate Staging Association, also the owner of Gulf to Bay Premier Interiors. Welcome in.
Hi, good to see you.
Yes, welcome in. Yeah.
I'll be piggybacking off you guys.
Cool.
How to make those homes so irresistible that those mortgages, the appraisals go really high. And they sell.
That's right. So
and now
staging.
And now with the season coming up, like warming up, that's what you need to do. That's how you sell.
Home staging. It's statistics show that staged homes sell faster, less days on the market for higher prices. So Melena's going to educate us in that area. Let us know what's happening at this time of the year. So,
yeah.
All right. Fred Muth in the house as well. Design and sales for Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Welcome in, sir.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be back. I missed it a couple of times this month. I'm always stuck behind a cement mixer truck or a dump truck. It's today's world. It's what's going on out there. The more houses you sell, the more traffic there is, Brandon.
That's
I'm
right.
going to blame you.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, today I'm probably going to touch on some of the unusual designs that we've come across lately with some of the unique products that we're offering today, which really keeps me very interested in this business. So I won't say too much until next time around.
Yeah. So so Fred Muth, he kind of helps you with that in between space from the house or the under air out to the backyard. You've got those beautiful designs where you're putting those aluminum screen buildings, the patios, enjoy your real estate, with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum.
Thank you.
Yes,
Brandon.
sir. All right. So we always start our show off with a little bit of an audible. I'm a published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon. Become the MVP in your industry by surfing the radio waves is available on Amazon.com. And we're going to hit you with that audible here. Peyton Manning helping us with that audible. So what we've been doing in this series is top 10 rags to riches success stories of all time. And this one is Richard Branson. He came in at number 5. Branson went to school. Branson went from being the dyslexic skid who performed badly in school to a British business magnate and a net worth of $4.6 billion. There was a time when Richard Branson started his record business from the crypt of a church, and now he's the 4th richest citizen in the UK. This entrepreneur is an example of how one can be eccentric yet rake in the moolah. He has been fingered in many pies, his record label, Airways, Telecom. So Richard Branson coming in at number 5, $4.6 billion. And this is an old list, too. So this is, he's got more billions than that, I think, now. But So, just kind of opening it up to your mind is, what are you focusing on? What can you do daily to live a better life? The power of focus and your goals, setting down those goals, writing down those goals, and being pursuant of those daily will help you get there as well. So there's your 2-minute drill from the Consumer Quarterback Show. And let's give a shout out to Mary Maids Cleaning Services, our official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Let Mary Maids take care of your winter cleaning. We know clean. Leave the details to us. And you're welcome to your clean home. Mary Maids, relax, it's done. They have a satisfaction guarantee as well, and they have a beautiful flyer that they leave behind as well. Tells you which rooms they hit today, the ones that they gave extra additional attention to. Mary Maids, our official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They have special discounts if you reach out. We'll get you in touch with them. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Mario Larrea back in studio, and Mario, we talk about optimism. We talk about the American dream a lot here, the ability to, design your own future, to build a future that's going to be building up appreciation. Real estate, there's so many ways you can look at real estate, and it's a great time to get in the market.
Yeah, it is. I was actually reading an article the other day, and it was talking about things to do with the the rising rate environment. And, some of it seems real obvious, but people just don't think about it. They're saying right now, if you're thinking about making a major purchase within the next year or so, strike right now while the rates are still low, whether it be a car or a house, or they were talking also, if you're thinking about refinancing, if it's crossed your mind, now's the time to do it, because rates are going to continue to go up. I mean, they've gone up this year, but they're still very, very low. So they're going to continue going up. So if any of that is crossing your mind, if you want to maybe pull out some cash to add a screen enclosure or something like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is the time to do it. If you're thinking about doing it, do it now while the rates are still low. And because if you do it now as opposed to a year from now, it's going to cost you a lot more money for the same exact car, the same exact screen enclosure, the same exact house.
Yep.
It's just going to across the board cost you less at this time.
Yeah, especially renters out there. I want to talk to renters for a minute. You may think that your credit's not in a position. Maybe you're thinking, my credit's not there. Or, hey, they may call you up. They say, Mario, I don't have enough money saved. I don't think I have enough down payment. These are some common myths that the renters have. I mean, it's much easier to get into home ownership nowadays than people think. Yeah,
really, as far as the down payment's concerned, it's much easier. I mean, right now we have even for people with their credit's got some issues, you can go down to 580 I can go down to a 580 credit score on FHA. It's only 3.5% down. I mean, that's not that much. Mm-hmm. There's other programs right now as well where people literally don't have to come in with any money. I mean, you can get down payment assistance. There's the VA mortgage programs for the people who are, former military. So there's a lot of options right now to where you can actually get into a home and, not really put any money out of your own pocket down.
And gift funds as well. You can use gift funds.
Yeah, gift funds can be used on pretty much every mortgage transaction. I mean, if you have somebody, the only thing with that is they have to be a relative. But as long as they gift you the funds, you're good to go.
So a relative can gift you the funds. That's interesting. And then, so when a renter is paying approximately, let's just say $1,500 a month, they could qualify in most cases for about 30% more of a home and pay 30% less.
Right now they can, and that number is probably going to start lowering, but still it's going to be better than, even if it was like right now, it's still about that 30% mark, but even if it was 1-to-1, you're still better off with the mortgage, because you're retaining a portion of that money. You're getting a tax write-off for the interest that you're paying. The home is appreciating. So, not only are you retaining some of that money, but it's actually the value of that home is growing. So, your net worth is growing as the home grows and you pay it down.
Yeah, so you're building wealth through real estate. And one of the other ideas that I like to talk about, by the way, if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage expert here in Tampa Bay, local lender, support your local economy, MI Mutual Mortgage. I like to talk about the ability to buy a duplex, triplex, a quad, and to be able to live in one unit and then have the rental income coming in as well. Yeah,
and we've talked about that several times, but it's a great way to get into something that's inexpensive. As I was saying before, as you're paying that mortgage down, you're retaining some of that money. But it's even better if it's somebody else's money that you're retaining into that mortgage. So, you get into these, a duplex. I don't know if, you probably will be able to rent that out for enough to cover the whole mortgage, taxes and insurance and everything. And you start looking at a triplex, a quad. Now you have, even more money than, now you're making money. It's not just breaking even and paying your mortgage down.
Yeah, especially if you buy it in a great area. Dunedin is very popular, South Tampa. Some of these very popular areas, they're going to appreciate. They're always going to be in demand, whether it's the walkability, people wanting to walk to the grocery stores or the downtown areas, or maybe there's a local employer that's just always employing people that are close by, hospitals. And so let's switch gears. I want to talk about construction because I think here's a challenge. The inventory's low. We talked about the 203K loans, the home style loans, the renovation loans where you can go in and renovate. But there's also some ideas for construction right now. Construction starts are up. People are buying a new inventory, and they can go in there and they can kind of design the type of a home that they want.
Yeah, and that's on the rise right now too, from what they're saying. So, and just strictly by the supply and demand. I mean, it makes sense that it would be, but there's a lot more homes being built in the area, and you can basically make the home exactly as you want it.
Absolutely. So we'll talk more about that. We got also, we're going to talk about the renovation style loans, these renovation loans that allow you to go in and take the home that maybe has one bedroom, maybe you turn it into, or one bathroom rather, you turn it into two bath, and you improve these values of the properties. We'll talk about that. And also we're going to bring Milena Mateev into the conversation, real estate staging, and talk about ways that we can help you make the home prettier, less days on the market, higher sales price, and stay with here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay, helping you win in any marketplace as your consumer advocate. Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's #1 consumer advocate radio and TV show here, helping you win. And we want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your health wheel. Each spoke extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, our expert contributors that we bring on the air to entertain you, educate, and talk about ways that you can engage with us and live a better life. Avoid commission-based advice that's so prevalent in our community. And I want to give a shout-out to Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza. Our official restaurant partner is Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza, bringing you the pleasures of a Tuscan country villa to Tampa. We might invite you to break your reservation today to try out the Italian menu. Now, we've got something going on as well. We've got free appetizers to anybody that mentions this radio ad when you go to Brio Tuscan Grill. So there's got some great appetizers here. The spicy shrimp and eggplant is one of my favorites. The beef carpaccio is great. They've got calamari, the roasted garlic and artichoke dip. And so some really cool offer here from, all you have to do is mention the Consumer Quarterback Show when you go into Brio Tuscan Grill, our restaurant partner. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and they're going to hook you up with that free appetizer. All right, back here in studio, helping you win in any marketplace. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host and the owner of Platinum MVP Realty. Got a hot property on the beach I want to let you know about. This one is 1024 Mandalay Avenue, and it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath property. Just reduced. Owner's motivated. $739,000. We just reduced this property over 1,800 square feet, and it's minutes from the Gulf of Mexico. And you walk across the street, and you are literally on the beach and enjoying a beautiful day on the beach. All right, back here in studio, we were talking with Mario Larrea, and we were talking about, the construction side. We're talking about now, let's kind of blend this here with Milena in the house. She's a real estate and staging expert and Gulf to Bay Premier Interiors. So when you think about the ability to sell real estate and the situations of lack of inventory for buyers. So from the buying side, Mario, you guys have some great opportunities for people to reach out and look at these construction style loans.
Yeah, it's a great product, the home styles and the 203K, for a few reasons right now. Mainly, number one, there's not that much inventory. So, if you find a house that's it could be what you want, it just needs, another bathroom or needs to be renovated or something like that, you have the ability to do it. Now, the other part to that is with interest rates rising, I mean, typically what that also means is other investments you're going to be making more money off of as well. So, it's one of those things where, you can lock into a low interest rate right now, pay for those, the improvements with somebody else's money, and now still keep the money that you have on hand to then go and invest later on. So, it's a great way to hold on to your own cash, but, especially for people that are looking to purchase, they're having a hard time, getting the house that they want, you can make it into the house that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of leads into Milena Mateev when we're talking about making the houses that you want. You're able to come in and help homeowners understand more about what's trendy, what's the interior design style right now. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, just to piggyback on the new construction loan, actually the renovation loan, right?
Yeah.
What you're talking about. And I see this happening over and over again, mostly with my investor clients.
Yep.
Some of them do have the equity from prior deals that they can use into. Some of them do actually use this kind of loans. And there is a big difference between a house that has been renovated, freshly painted, and put on the market for sale. And there is a house that has been renovated, freshly painted, and staged. Mm-hmm. And the house that is staged, house is staged first, and this is statistics. House that is staged first before going on the market spends about 90% less time on the market compared to a house that hasn't been staged.
So 90% less time?
90% less time. So when you're going to a higher price properties, right? So we're not talking about the 120,000, 200,000. Let's say you have $1.5 million property.
Yeah.
And you know that typically this type of property would sit on the market longer than your $150,000 property.
Sure.
Right? Because your target market is
your
a little
buyer
bit,
pool.
it's smaller. it makes a huge difference. What is this first impression?
Right.
How does it look online? How are your pictures online? What is the vibe of the place? Beautiful, brand new painted walls are beautiful, but only if you are in the space and you have the 3D mind, or the third eye, as I call it, that you can imagine. Empty spaces don't evoke emotional connection with anyone. And you know very well in the business that people buy because they make an emotional connection with the property.
Right.
There is something, and could be very weird, but there is always an emotional connection, right?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to sell a property and it's freshly renovated, but it has no personality, then your chances are you probably will sell it. But with the first price reduction that you do, and that's rule of thumb, so it's going to sit on the market for 30 days and you're
Right.
already going to roll the price. The first price reduction you have paid for your staging, which basically means you have brought more money
Yep.
to your budget. You could have avoided basically lowering your price. And I see this happening over and over again I work with a few realtors that they have this, and I really like this technique, is you have a perfect home. I mean, perfect for the the context it exists into, the location and the updates and so on and so forth. And so if there is a home close by, which is, let's say, the same age, structure-wise, renovated, close to, if their property is just being redone, and let's say the other property is on the market for $350, what they do is they put it on the market for $325. Guess what happens? We stage it, we make it look like $450. They usually get between 2 and 5 offers within the first week.
Yep.
By lowering the price with a very little margin, they actually create a bidding war.
Exactly.
And the property ends up selling for way more than the $350 than they will have originally put it on. And actually, if you do a little ROI, return on your investment, you know, the money. So let's say you spend $3,000 staging the property for this 1 month. You're getting $30,000 more. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I like that strategy more. When you look at pricing the property where it needs to be, competitively pricing it, staging the property, putting your best foot forward, everything from the interior to the curb appeal.
Everything.
And because a lot of people don't realize they want to go the other way. They want to start higher and, we can always come down. We can work our way down. I understand that strategy, but it turns off a lot of buyers.
Well, this strategy works if you have a house that you don't want to put any money to renovate.
Yeah.
Right? Because obviously everything is a gut out, and your bottom line. So you start higher and you go lower and lower and lower, and then at the end you sell because you don't have that much of a margin. But if you think about when we go and look at a property, as a stager, when I go and look at a property, I do my preliminary marketing analysis. I do my own target market demographics to find out who's the buyer. So it's not just, and it all goes hand in hand with educating people,
right?
And both realtors and homeowners, is that if you place a rug and one chair and one piece of
furniture,
artwork, although wall art, I will wall art, not artwork, and call this staging, no, it looks stupid. People buy online. Sorry, I'm no offense. People pay money for professional advice. So when a property is staged correctly to its target market demographic, like if you know that your buyer is a baby boomer, why would you stage it for a millennial? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So the property needs to be staged target market, just to match this pool. The price is right. These properties don't sit on the market forever. They sit on the market for a week or 2 weeks or maximum 3 weeks, and they go on the contract.
Yeah, people don't realize only 1/3 of the listings that get listed actually sell. The other 2/3 end up expired or withdrawn.
Yeah.
So that's a mistake people make. I think a lot of times too, where they try the pricing strategy of listing the property too high, they're going to days on the market are going to add up, and then people are going to be staying away from that property thinking that something's going on. There's going to be some kind of a stigmatism around that property. By the way, if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. We're talking with Milena Mateev. She's the owner of Gulf to Bay Premier Interiors. So what's trendy right now? What's hot?
We're still in the grays. We're still grays and whites. I mean, they're kind of fading away, but they'll be here for a while because a lot of the new construction, a lot of remodel, a lot of the, just for the mere reason that we have a lot of aged homes which need to be redone in order to enter that second stage of their life. You know, I'm not talking about the 1925 bungalows. I'm talking about the concrete block 50s and 60s,
Right.
which are great. You know, structurally, their bones are great. Everything is great. You know, you can basically gut them out and completely and redo all electrical and roofing. You can put a second floor. I mean, you can do miracles.
Yeah.
On design part of my company, we do this all the time. But because the trend has carried on so long, like for 3 years now, we're still into like the Joanna Gaines and this kind of a look. We'll be staying here for a bit.
Good. All right, well, stay with us here. More from our expert contributors here. We got Fred Muth coming up as well, design and sales for Tampa Screens and Aluminum, and more from our expert contributors in our lightning round as well. So stay with us here. When we come back, Mario Larrea, mortgage expert, Milena Mateev, Fred Muth in the house, and we'll see you on the other side of this short break. Stay with us.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team at USF, longtime quarterback on my sports teams. Quarterbacking introductions now to our 80-plus show partners, expert contributors on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Quarterbacking introductions to our partners and our sellers out there. We're helping our sellers quarterback transactions, buyers, investors as well. And I want to give a shout-out to my chef. We got a Chef Will Wagner, healthy meal delivery service. Chef Will and his team conveniently deliver organic meals to your home or office, and we're talking paleo, ketogenic, vegan, and gluten-free kids menus available. Chef Will Wagner, he's my chef, and he can be your family chef also. ConsumerQB.com. Just check out ConsumerQB.com. You'll see links to all of our expert contributors there. You can call us up on our hotline, 813-670-7372. 813-670-REQB and 7372. All right, got a hot listing here in the Old Northeast section of St. Petersburg. I want to let you know about 215 12th Avenue Northeast, St. Pete. 4 bedrooms, 5 bath, $1.4 million. Now, this is under construction, almost completed, and it's your opportunity to design the colors, countertops, cabinets, appliances, flooring, everything once you are in escrow. 215 12th Avenue Northeast, St. Petersburg. A great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Check out PlatinumMVPRealty.com for all of our real estate listings. You can also do a search and valuation tool there. PlatinumMVPRealty.com. All right, we got in studio today Mario Larrea, mortgage expert, MI Mutual Mortgage. Milena Mateev, she's the Tampa Bay Chapter President of the Real Estate Staging Association, as well as the owner of Gulf to Bay Premier Interiors. And let's bring Fred Muth into the conversation. My man Fred Muth back in the house. Design and sales, Tampa Screens and Aluminum.
Well, thank you, Brandon. It's always a tough act to follow. You did it to me again. We got some heavy hitters here today.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but you can't do it without the enclosed porch.
That's right.
That's right.
Unfortunately, you have to have the house first, and if there's any money left over, they buy the porch. Right?
If there's any money left over, yeah.
Here's one for you, Mario. This is sort of a backwards scenario. I've got this project in progress right now. It's about a $9,000 screen enclosure. The customer is buying the enclosure to enhance the value of the home so that they can get a higher appraisal for their HELOC, so that they can replace the windows and the roof. Is that amazing? It's a backward scenario, because I took a call from that customer today. He said, please, let's get the cage up quick. He says, the bank's coming. They want it done so that I can get this appraisal done. So I'm assuming my $9,000 enclosure is probably going to boost the appraisal by about 12. Typically, the appraisals come in a little higher on the enclosures. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not real sure about exactly what it really has to do with the what the comps are in the area. Yeah, I mean, if a comp has something similar to that, then you can base it off of that. But every area, it's going to vary just a little bit. Yeah.
Apparently, the value of the home was just below where it needed to be without the enclosure.
Oh, really?
So, it's amazing.
And one other thing that I've done a few times. So you have an enclosure and you live in the home, and that's going back to you for a resale value, because you do actually need to have a permit, and you need to have engineering drawings for the enclosure.
That's correct.
Compliant with the Florida laws for winds and whatnot. So here's the little golden thing that you can do is, so you have your enclosure and it's pretty, and then a year later, you come in and you enclose this space and you air condition it, and then all of a sudden you're adding 300, 400, 500 square feet to your home.
That happens. Yeah.
So for another probably $15,000, depending on the size and how many windows and whatnot, you're actually adding an extra air conditioned square footage to the
Sure.
value of the
More habitable space.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah,
That
we've
al-
done that many times.
That always increases it.
the value of the
Yeah.
home.
Big time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're stepping up in to another level of comparable sales.
Yeah.
And going back to the scenario you laid out as well, Fred, by adding that lanai, that beautiful space on the back, the in between space we talk about, the air conditioning, out between the backyard, keeping the mosquitoes out. When it comes down to two homes and the buyers are coming in and they're saying, wow, so these homes are identical, the color schemes might be a little bit different, but when it comes down to, regardless of what the comps say, the values, the appraisals, the one that they're going to contract on is the one that has the screened lanai.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yes, no doubt about it.
Yeah, so they're going to come in, and you look at, I love, the idea of improving your real estate. People can spend money in so many other places, and Americans believe a lot of Americans do. The savings rate has gone to a negative point for the first time in the history of the United States recently. So by saving money, putting it into your home, that's a safe bet.
Absolutely. I've got one going right now. It's another one that's sort of unusual, and they come in from another state. They don't like bugs. Nobody does. So it's about 40 by 20, and there's young children involved, and they want to know what I could do to give them some play space. Thank you. Gives me something to design. And what I'm doing, I'm doing 10 foot of that on the projection. Then I'm going to step it down. The last 10 feet is going to be all zoysia grass. So that they have their patio. It's a screen roof. They have their patio under screen roof. Then the kids can play in the nice zoysia grass area and not get eaten alive by the bugs.
Nice.
And that's what floats my boat in this business. The fact that they say to me, what can we do? And, we design it.
Yeah,
I enjoy the design. Don't tell Richard. He will cut my commissions, I'm telling you.
Fred Muth here, Tampa Screens and Aluminum Design and Sales. And Fred, in the past too, we've talked about some unique structures that you built with homes. Any recent success stories or any cool structures?
Yeah, we've done several panoramic view enclosures. I've not sold one recently, but the panoramic view is the enclosure where, say, it's a 40-foot span, and on the back end of that screen enclosure, you may have two large openings with only one upright in the middle.
Okay,
that's a good look, and a lot of times that will happen if there's the backdrop of the property is a lake or something of that sort, so that when you look out, you see the lake, you see the beauty of why you bought this property, and we're not obstructing it with the uprights.
Yeah, I like that.
Panoramic view is the up and coming product of our industry.
Panoramic view. So
panoramic view.
What does that actually look like? I mean,
well, basically, if you look at any pool cage, drive around, you see them. You see on a 40-foot span, you may see 4 or 5, maybe 6 uprights supporting it. Okay,
yeah.
Of course, the beams of the roof are still there, and the panoramic view eliminates the uprights on the 40-foot span, and it puts one in the middle. Mm-hmm. It puts one upright in the middle and a heavier beam on the top because it's carrying the load. But the view, you'll have two 20-foot open views, so that when you look out, you don't see the uprights.
That's great.
That's a nice look.
Yeah,
and that's a fairly recent design. Tampa Screens does it. Some of the other companies do it, and it's hard to explain until you see one.
Yeah,
when you see one, just knocks your.
So it's eliminating a lot of those upright posts that are kind of blocking the view.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Typically, it's done on the long wall on the back side.
Right.
If you want the entire enclosure built that way, you can. Yeah, it can happen. Obviously, it's more expensive, but I like the look. I think it's a very, very good concept.
Yeah. So go ahead, Milena.
Yeah, I just wanted to. Actually, I just saw one 2 weeks ago. Was with a client at Bayou Grande in Seminole, looking at houses, and the whole. So it's a golf course, and it's a beautiful grounds, and it's been there forever. So the house sits on the golf course, and all the houses that they looked at, set on a golf course or set on like little preserve and little ponds and whatnot. But this one, so they wanted a screen backyard, and this one had exactly what you're talking about. It's you don't know until you see it. And actually, they picked up this house because of the view. The view is different.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Awesome. Over the many years that I've been doing this, the request came in so many times to build something where I could eliminate the uprights. And many years ago, I couldn't do it. There was no engineering for it. And then when the engineering finally was approved, and we start building them, they just, if you can afford it, they go like hotcakes, so to speak.
Yeah. So are you guys still experiencing issues with permitting or maybe labor? in terms of just
Can we
in
talk
general.
about something pleasant?
I'm just trying to help you out. If there's anybody out there that's looking for help.
The permitting is still it's terrible. It should not take this long to permit a screen enclosure.
Right.
And I tell people, I'm not building a bridge. I'm building a cage.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks is way too long. And,
Wow.
And I picked on a couple counties the last time. I'm not going to do that this time. They might be listening.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, City of Tampa, I love the City of Tampa. I can get a permit very fast in the City of Tampa.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the others.
Now, what about on the labor side? Are you guys hiring? Are you looking for help?
We're always looking for good labor. Yes,
Yeah.
there's, I think the statement I made 1 or 2 times when I was on the show, 2-3 years ago, there were 1,500 good screen installers on the west coast of Florida. There's still 1,500 good screen enclosures on the west coast of Florida. And look at the workload.
Right.
Yeah, the workload is amazing. Guys, carpenters can learn to be a screen enclosure installer. The tolerances are much, much closer. They can learn. They can learn the trade, and there's carpenters coming in right and left, but they a lot of them don't get involved in the screens because they go right into carpentry because there's so much of that work available right now in Florida, especially the west coast of Florida.
Yeah, it really is. You look at housing starts being up. The builders they're very gung ho on building. You look at a lot of these different.
It's 2004 all over again.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, maybe not on the lending
Hopefully,
side.
hopefully not
The lending side's not.
We're not gonna. Let's not talk negative. Let's talk positive, right?
Come on, man.
Thank you.
There's your come on, man. All right, cool. Stay with us here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Mario Larrea in the house, Milena Mateev, Fred Muth, and more from our expert contributors. So stay with us. Do not touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. And our hotel partner is Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's the first new hotel built on St. Pete Beach in decades. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. Whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites with balconies overlooking the Intercoastal Waterway and the Gulf of Mexico. Rooftop yoga on the weekends and the Castile restaurant on site. Excellent food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, reach out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on the beach, and let them know that the real estate quarterback sent you. You're going to get 20% off of your stay over at Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on St. Pete Beach. And we are back here in studio. Mario Larrea is our mortgage expert. He's in the house. We got Milena Mateev. She is the owner of Gulf to Bay Premier Interiors. And Fred Muth, a.k.a. the Tin Man, here in studio as well, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. So, Fred, going back to you, we talk about the value that these buildings add to the homes. Kind of open question too, just in general here. We'll do a little round robin here, but the value that these adds to the home, the interior design work that you can do. Real estate is a very it's a versatile class. There's a lot of things that you can do with real estate. So what do you see in terms of the market going forward, 2018?
It's going to continue to go in the same direction, I believe, regardless of what goes on in the world at this point. I feel that it's going to be on an upswing till maybe 2020, and I believe it may level off. It has nothing to do with anything other than the standard wave that the economy always follows.
Yep.
I believe it's going to continue in the year 2020 on a plateau, and possibly start to take a slight nosedive a little later.
Yep.
But I don't think we're ever going to see what we saw in the past, which again we don't like to talk about.
Yeah.
Regarding 04 and 05 and 06 and 07, and then of course after the downslide, it's probably going to level out, plateau, and start to swing back up again.
Yeah.
That's the
cycle.
That's the flow that we like to see. It's like the ocean. Okay. It's like the ocean without a tidal wave.
Yeah, there you go.
Basically,
2020 is an election year too, so
that's right. That's right. Yep.
Seriously.
Mario, same question.
I agree with the comment about the 2004, 2007. I mean, I was reading the other day, we're at like a 10-year low on the amount of mortgage delinquencies right now. So they really tighten things up on us as far as qualifying people being able to pay, income wise, to be able to make sure that they can afford the homes that they're in, kind of eliminating a lot of those adjustable rates of mortgages that were out there before. So, you're not going to really see what we saw. I don't see that happening ever again if they keep the standards the way that they are. So, that's going to be a good thing. I don't know, with the interest rates increasing, I think maybe we could be leveling off a little bit as far as appreciation value, something like that, with those, but not leveling off, but maybe slowing. Not as aggressive as it is now, but a continuation where they're still appreciating. We're still in a good real estate market.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And, a lot of the exotic loan programs are gone. Now, what do you think about the Dodd-Frank? I mean, that came in, that kind of changed some of it, right? But it kind of favors the bigger institutions.
Well, there's a lot of the Dodd-Frank. I mean, something had to have been done. Right. In my personal opinion, I think the pendulum swung way over a little bit too conservative, and in some of the aspects, it's actually they've gotten so controlling over certain aspects of lending that it's actually inhibited the buyers and the borrowers and the people looking to refinance. Some of the stuff that they have out there, it prevents things from going smooth. I think that there was some good that was in it, but I think it's a little bit overdone.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's jump into our lightning round. Let's do the lightning top round. Tips.
I am so good.
Nuggets of advice, words of wisdom, quick hits. Mario Larrea, you're up.
If you're thinking about, it's even crossing your mind about purchasing, refinancing, right now's the time to do it. Don't wait. Rates have been coming up. They're going to continue to go up. So lock in now while they're still low.
Lock them in. Get them locked in. Milena Mateev.
After you lock them in, have fun shopping for a house. And if you are a seller, do yourself a favor and save your house time on the market and get, even if you don't hire a professional stager to do it, get a consultation, splurge $215 to $250.
Yeah.
Do a thorough walkthrough consultation, know what is not right, know how to make it right, and just make more money of your investment.
That's right.
Your most prized possession, actually. For
You can
most
get the
people.
consultation and do it on your own.
And do it on your own.
Try to do it on your own.
But at least know how to do it, so people don't look at your bathroom counter and your kids' clothes and this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with
Fred Muth, the Tin Man.
Well, if Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner are in the process of bidding out and building an enclosure, ask a lot of questions. I highly recommend that. Some of the competition are apprehensive about answering questions. Some of the questions that typically should be addressed are ground elevations and where's the water going to go when I take 600 square feet of percolation away from your property now.
Right.
People do not ask me this question.
That's
And
right.
It's something that I address constantly because I'm very conscious of it. When I take that percolation away, that water's got to go somewhere. I don't want it to come back up on the patio. I want it to make it go around to the street where it's supposed to go. And we have a method of doing that in most cases. The guy that does my concrete work, Bill Connor, he's as conscientious about that as I am. And if there's ever something that I miss on an elevation issue, he brings it up right away. When he's on a job, he may call me 6 or 8 times. He's a lot smarter than me when it comes to concrete and elevation. He may call me 6 or 8 times and ask the most redundant questions only to make sure that the job goes correctly.
Right.
And so I do urge that the homeowner ask the questions while they're bidding the work as to how we're going to make it drain.
That's right.
Where's the water going to go?
Yeah, ask those questions. That's one thing I always like when you talk about it, is that you urge them to ask the questions and be engaged in the process.
Absolutely. No doubt.
All right, so I want to talk about success here in our lightning round. So we, I'm a published author, professional speaker. I do a lot of speaking, and we talk about Napoleon Hill, one of the most famous books, Think and Grow Rich. He did a study 25 years into the 500 of the best and brightest business gurus. These guys that names like Alexander Graham Bell, Edison, Carnegie, Ford, and Master Key to Riches. Firestone was in that list as well. And so the whole book, he went through it, and he talked about the number one thing that you can do to be successful: self-discipline, the ability to do what you should do, whether you feel like it or not. And with it, everything works. Without it, nothing works. So self-discipline is the number one key, according to Napoleon Hill, into success, achieving success and prosperity. All right, let's do another round here. Lightning round. Top tips, nuggets of advice.
When you go to refinance or purchase to get a new mortgage, deal with somebody locally. You're going to have a lot better results. Also, with the limited inventory, your pre-approval is going to be taken quite a bit more seriously if it's not just an internet company or something like that. If you use somebody like me who has a local presence, a local name, you're more prone to get that offer accepted than you are with one of the big banks.
That's right. Shop local. Work local here. All right, Milena Mateev.
If you're an investor and you really want to get the best buck for your money, in the process of your renovation or your build out or whatever you're doing, reach out to a designer. Let them tell you what are the flow that you're creating, whatever you're renovating, what is current to the market. And in our case, because we design and we stage, we can also tell you how your furniture placement will look like. If it's not right, it can be corrected in the time of when it's built out. So it always helps to get more opinions and feedback before you're ready to put the house on the market. Just reach out to professionals.
Reach out, get that consultation Milena talked about.
Yeah.
All right, Fred Muth.
It seems to make a lot of sense to refi these days with the fact that the value of the homes continues to rise. Refi, pull the money out, talk to Milena, get the interior done the right way. Of course, if there's any money left over, talk to me.
When you talk to me, I'll tell you what to do.
Oh, okay, thank
Get
you.
an
Yeah,
aluminum.
send them my way, will you?
Oh, sure.
And then when it's all said and done, you're going to have a nice tax break,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yep.
And the value is going to be appreciated. And not only that, you're really going to enjoy the final product. So it just makes a lot of sense to follow Mario's advice and do the refi.
That's right. All right. I want to thank Mario, Larrea, MI Mutual Mortgage, Milena Mateev, Gulf to Bay Premier Interiors, Fred Muth, the Tin Man, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. I want to thank all of our listeners, our viewers of our TV show on WeBeam TV out there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. And I want to leave you with a quote from Jim Rohn. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up some leftover food, carrying it with you to and from your commute, handing it to that person that you see in need on the side of the road. Be a force for good in the community. Go out there and do something kind for one another. Maybe buy lunch for a serviceman or woman or a police officer that you see. Do a random act of kindness every day. Be something to one another and be kind out there on the roadways. And continue to tune in to our show. Follow us on social media. We'd love to engage with you on social media. Instagram at Brandon Rhymes 1, Twitter at Brandon Rhymes 1, on Facebook as well, Brandon Rhymes PA. And of course, we have the Consumer Quarterback Show pages out there as well. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.